we're going to look at linear programming, that is mathematics paper 1. So if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, kindly do so for more videos. And if you're having challenges in biology, science paper 1, science paper 2, you can also search on my channel. You're going to find necessary videos which are going to help you. So let's start. Write the three inequalities that define the unshaded region R on the diagram. So you have to take note of that this question is asking us to describe the unshaded region. So if this is the line, then I shade this part here. So the part now which they are looking for is this part here, which is not shaded. That is what this question is asking us. So now for you to answer linear programming, you just have to know few things. It's just very simple. Number one, you have to take note of that to say dotted lines. Okay, so dotted lines, always you have to use greater than or less than. So for example, if you have something like this one here, this is the dotted line. So you have to use these symbols depending on the inequality or depending on where the line is cutting. Then number two, when you're talking of solid lines or you're talking about solid lines, what are you supposed to do? So solid line looks something like this. So you're supposed to use greater than or equal to or less than or equal to. As simple as that. So let's say for example, this is the XY plane. Then we have two lines here. So we have this line here, which is the solid line, and it is cutting at number 2. And then I'm shading this part here. Then another line is going to be a dotted line, which is going to cut the y-axis at that point. So let's say if this is 3, then I shade the upper part. Then they tell you to describe this one. So in terms of the description, let's start with this one, the one which is cutting the y-axis. So you're going to say, since it is cutting the y-axis, you're going to say y. Then in terms of the line, it is dotted. So you're supposed to use one of these, but depending on the part which is not shaded. So according to this one here, the part which is not shaded here is less than, because going up, the numbers, they are going to increase. From 3, you are going to go on 4. So you can't say 4 is less than 3. No, 4 is greater than 3. So you're going to say the part which is not shaded is going to be less than. So y is less than 3 because this line is cutting at 3. Then for this one, it is cutting at 2. Then it is cutting x, so you have to say x. Then the part which is not shaded here, as you can see, it is less than. But remember, this is the solid line, so you have to say x is less than or equal to what? Or equal to 2. So this is how you're supposed to answer that one. But let's just now put what we have discussed here into practice according to this question. So we have this line here which is cutting at this point here, it is cutting the x-axis at 1. So it's just very simple, since it is cutting at 1 in the x-axis. So I'm going to say for inequality number 1, x, since it is solid, so I have to use greater than or equal to or less than or equal to, depending on the part which is not shaded. So this is 1. Going forward, we are going to have 2, 3. So meaning these numbers here which are going on this side, they are greater than 1. So we can't say greater than or equal to 1, but we are going to say less than or equal to 1 because the part which is not shaded here is less than 1. So we can have here 0.5. So 0.5, it is more, or it is smaller than 1. That is what it means. Now let's come to these lines here which are cutting at 1 point, but they are slant. Okay, so they are slant lines. They are not cutting at 2 points, but they are slant. They are not straight like the way this one is. So let's start with this one here. So according to what we can see here, this is the dotted line. So we have to use one of these. Less than, let me say greater than or less than. But for us to use that one, we have to collect first the coordinates and then find the gradient. So gradient is given by which formula? y2 minus y1 then divided by x2 minus x1. This is the formula for finding the gradient. So we have to collect the what? The coordinates. So I can put the point here because this is where now these two lines are meeting. So in terms of the coordinates, it is x comma y, isn't it? X comma y. So what is our x here? According to where the point E is. So our x is -5. Then our y, it is this point. This one here, which is 2. So it is -5, 2. What about this one? Since in the y-axis, x is equal to 0. So we are going to have 0, 0,5. So now we can find the gradient. So let's find the gradient. So gradient is going to be equal to, so we can label these numbers as our x1, y1, x2, and so on. So this is going to be my x1, y1, x2, y2. So my y2 there is 5, my y1 is 2, then here my x2 is 0, then minus x1, that is -5. So when I do the computation, I'm going to get 3 over +5, because you know to say that negative and negative is positive. So that is what we are having. Now to find the inequality, according to what you can see here, this line is cutting the y-axis. So we have to put y. But which symbols or which inequality are we going to use? We are going to use less than or greater than according to the side which is not shaded. So if we are at 5 here, then this part is not shaded. So this part here is indicating 4, 3, 2, and 1. Is 4 greater than 5? No, it is less than. So what we are going to do here, we are going to say this is going to be y less than. But for you to find the inequality, you have to use the same equation, but it has to be written in this way. Y minus y1, and this is going to be equal to gradient, then open bracket x minus x1. So in this case here, these coordinates that we have, like -5, 2, as well as 0,5, you just have to take only one coordinate. Whichever coordinate you're going to choose, you're going to get the same answer. So let's say, for example, if you choose this one here, or you choose this one here, you're going to get the same answer. So if I choose this one here, meaning to say this is going to be my x1 and this is going to be my y1. So meaning to say here we don't have x2 or y2 if we get this one. So let's use now. Remember, where we're having an equal sign here, we're going to put less than. So we have y minus y1. So our y1 there is 5. Then this is going to be equal to, but remember we're going to put less than as we go on. Then the gradient is 3 over 5. X, it is 0. Or let me say x we don't have. Then minus x1. What is our x1? Let me just do this. Our x1 is 0. Then when I do the computation, I'm going to have y, which is going to be equal to, so you just need to take this one to the other side. Then when I multiply here, this is what I'm going to have. Then plus 5 when this one goes to the other side. But remember, we have to write this equation in form of an inequality. Which symbol are we going to use? We're going to use this one. So you just have to say y is less than 3 over 5 x plus 5. Then from there, you are done answering this inequality. Now for the third part, I think this one you can just try. Let me just collect the data for you. Then you can write the answer in the comment section. But the way you are going to do it, you just have to do like the way we have answered for Roman numeral number 2. Number 1, you have to collect the coordinates. So this one is passing at this point here. So this one can be 0, 0. Have you seen? This one can be 0, 0. But remember, this is solid line. So you have to use greater than or equal to or less than or equal to. Then the coordinates, the next coordinates where these two lines are meeting. So you need to get negative 5, 2. Then you find the gradient. Then after finding the gradient, you use the same method. But remember this part here. So what is determining the side which is going to the variable which is going to determine the inequality is y. So if y is determining the inequality, what part here is not shaded? So if here we are having 0, here we are having 1, the numbers are increasing, so you can't say it is less than or equal to. This one here, it has to be greater than or equal to. So you can write the answer in the comment section so that I can see. Thank you very much for watching, and remember to subscribe for more videos. Then if you want to join my WhatsApp tuitions, you can join my WhatsApp tuitions at an affordable price, that is 100 kwacha per course or per subject, those who are doing NS and those who are doing their grade 12. Thank you very much for watching.